All right, now is when you examine the box. Make sure you don't have any damage or anything to the box. Then once you get it open, go ahead and pay attention to any dents or anything that might cause damage to the dishwasher. You do not need an O-ring here, just goes here. Finish snugging once everything is on the dishwasher. When you thread on, make sure you just use your finger to get it on. Do not use a tool until you're fully all the way on. Otherwise you can cross thread, and that's never a good thing. If you have to force it, it is not going on correctly. Okay, now we're snug. Gotta tighten it now. Hold the bracket and the valve as you tighten. Nice and tight. All right, now you can snug this one up. All right. Snug. All right, this section is done. We're also going to wire this in. We're not sure yet. If you have a plug-in unit, then you'd go ahead and wire everything up here, and then you'd move forward. If it's a hard wire, then we'll still do it similar. We're going to need a cord restraint, and we're going to connect our power, which is right here, to your main wires. All right. All right, we're going to be removing the old dishwasher. And first thing you want to do is turn the water off. Find where your water is. This is your drain. Usually it's 5/16 socket. Could also be a clamp with a pliers or a channel lock. Get a piece of paper towel, stuff it in there. You'll definitely need that. So let's get this thing out. So two forms of install, up top here and also along the edge here. So pay attention to see if you have any screws along the edge. If you're not sure, you can get a putty knife or something, slide it along, and if there are screws, it will touch the putty knife. Okay, nothing. And sometimes there are clamps along the sides and it will still lock the unit in, so keep that in mind. Okay, this is pretty free, so hopefully it's not too tight up top. Okay, so this is not even installed. So turn your water off and then we should be able to pull this thing out. All right, if they get stuck, and check both sides. Sometimes you have one side that is secured and then the other side isn't. All right, it's tight. Okay. All right, so your water line, make sure you follow it from your dishwasher and follow it, and you should be able to find your cutoff. So if it's a little bit difficult, just fine tune it. See the white line up top? All right, make sure you turn it off. All right, so we're gonna pull this out. Now we're to connect our water on the other unit, but given that line was in such a bad position, it's still in good shape. We're probably gonna leave that and just reconnect it to the new dishwasher. Especially they're both GE, so not a problem. I'm sure the cats were looking for these. All right, pre-level your unit so that you don't have to fight with it too much inside. All right, so we got to put these on. These are your installation. This one holds the dishwasher in. Some models, they still have the holes and you would actually screw them there. This model, you slide it in. And something you want to note, you want to make sure that once this is on, it is not rubbing here when you open the door. So keep that in mind. If it's rubbing, then it's too close. It's not supposed to. Now, you're going to have little tabs. And what you're going to do, once you're in, you're going to twist them, right? It's not going anywhere. Do that on the other side as well. All right, a couple things to note. When you're installing under granite, you want to make sure that you have something to screw the dishwasher into. You never want to screw into the stone. You can do side, which is an option, but we do have, it's called the granite installation kit, and we're going to install it here, and then you install your dishwasher into the metal section. All right. That's what the kit looks like, and it fits under here like that. Before we do have to bend these tabs. You're going to bend them down, and then they'll be positioned right here on both sides. And you're going to have 2 screws. I like to pre-drill my holes so that you don't split the cabinet. All right. So let's bend these. I'll show you how to do that. Sometimes you get some that are super snug. All right, so here's one way of getting it in as well. Lower your hand, you can just slide up. Okay, we're up. And we're gonna tap this way just to get it in just a little bit. Get a flat blade and just tap it. You don't want to damage anything. Just tap the corner. Perfect. All right. Now you have 2 screws, and this is done. Perfect. And you can secure your dishwasher safely. All right, so these are the screws. You're gonna use the shorty ones here. These other stubby ones, the shortest ones, will be holding that up, the dishwasher. All right, you do have 2 screws here. Drill your holes first. If you can't find a drill bit, be super careful, otherwise you'll crack and split. You don't want to do that. If you have to, put the drill in reverse. Perfect. All right. That's how it should look. Do the same on the other side. So both of them are in. Now it's time to get the dishwasher in. Let's connect our power to the dishwasher and connect our water to the dishwasher. Turn the water on before you stick the dishwasher in, check for leaks. Then we can level it up, slide it in, and put your bottom panel on, and you're done. After you connect your drain. All right, so there are different ways of installing your wire. This is the best. You're gonna get one of these from Lowe's. This kit comes with this, so we're gonna use what they supply, but the best ones would be this guy, and it's missing the cover. Otherwise I would go ahead and take this off and use it, but it's already here. So you would insert your wire, and you would have a piece that goes on top. You tighten it down, and that would keep it secured nice and strong. This would come off. This would go in. And you'd secure that like that. Then you'd connect your wires. All right, so we're going to be connecting our wires. Okay, it locks in, it works. All right, so you have your different colors. You have your green, which is ground, okay? Always connect ground first. Even though we're unplugged, it's good practice, all right? Now, this is one step, guys, that a lot of people make a mistake on. It's very easily done, and don't scratch your unit. So if you have the single strands, go ahead and insert first. Make sure it goes all the way, bottom out. Then the solid, it's sorted, insert this now. It's able to go all the way up. Okay. Now if I were to pull these out, they should be pretty level. See that? Okay. So first, this guy, then this one. Okay, wiggle it, push it up, and twist. How much to twist? Well, make sure it's tight. Okay, and if you're not as strong, turn extra, a couple more turns just to make sure. Now, once you're done, go ahead and tug on it. And then tug on each of the wires. Make sure they're strong and in there. All right, that's done. Now, next is your neutral. The last you want to connect is your line. Very crucial. All right, you can twist them together sometimes, but a lot of times the stranded one ends up out, so I like to keep it in there first. Don't twist, just get it in there as far as possible, and then wiggle this one up. Okay, now you can twist them. Tight. Now check them, pull. All right. Last is your line, your power. Actually, funny story, a subscriber actually reached out to me. I don't know if he's a subscriber. And he said you should always connect line ground first and line last. And he was right. In the event of a power situation, he's 100% correct. All right, all the way in. We're snug, twist. Now what I like to do on the line, I like to put just a little bit of electrical tape, tug, nice and secure, and I wrap this. Why? Because this is the only one that would cause a spark. So he gets wrapped as a safety barrier. Now you have your cover. Tuck everybody nicely. And of course, guys, always inspect your unit for dents or any damage before you actually do any of this, so that you can mitigate wasting your time and doing all of this and then having to remove the dishwasher. All right, so we got screws. Let's see where they go. All right, you got a long screw here. These will go inside the dishwasher, the door trim, covering the holes. This is for, you have your kick panels, 2 for your lower kick panels. Well, make that panel, okay? And this one is gonna be for your here. And these 2 would be for installing the dishwasher into the cabinet, the wood cabinet, or installing it into the side. And then you'd cover them with these, all right? Set those aside. Kick panel and shorty for that. Now this is gonna slide over here. You're gonna have a little tab, goes in. You'll see a little hole, a little slot. Make sure your wires are all tucked in. Force nothing. If you have to force, then something is not correct. Goes together. Don't pinch any wires because you'll have problems. All right. Get your 1/4 inch and tighten up. Perfect. All right, let's get this thing in. Leave your kick panel for last because you'll have to check for leaks. All right, so it's time to do your water line. This water line is still in really good shape and it's solid, so I do like these better than the 2-part ones. They tend to leak. Now, gasket looks good, so we'll just reuse this one. All right, it's good. This line is also very good, but it's so far in, you're better off just leaving it alone. Now, again, hand thread, always, until tight. Okay, if it's too tight, then you know it's not going on correctly, and you want to basically back it off and start over. All right, go with that. All right, so what I'd like to do now, I'm going to turn the water on, let it sit, and you'll see if you have any leaks from here. You can basically eliminate any potential leak as is right here. Now, orientate your line as you know how it's going to be in the dishwasher, and underneath, above the legs, not under. And once you set it in, it's going to slide right on in. All right, so we're done. Time to put it in. Your leg should be pre-leveled. Hopefully you measured from the base of the cabinet all the way up to the top of the dishwasher. And you can always lower these as needed. All right, let's get it in. Make sure you plug your dishwasher in before you do anything else. Go ahead and pass the line underneath the leg so you're not sitting on it. And if it's going on the opposite side, then pass it on the opposite side, which this one is. So you go this way with it. Now if you want, you can also do a zip tie, connecting it here so it's not dragging and pulling on the floor. So we can put one zip tie here and then pass it to the other side where it's going to connect over there. So we'll do that. Usually just one is fine. Just you're not yanking it here. That's it. And then the other one is fine. Now this unit did not have a padding, so I'm not sure what happened. Didn't see one. Almost forgot to put these on. Somebody mentioned it, so don't forget. Now they're different ones. You see the cutout? That goes where your lid or your door strike or switch would be. And once you get it on, you basically just slide it over. Make sure it's lined up. All right, you got the side ones, and you're done. All right, so they're all on. That's how you want to look. All right, let's get it in. All right, so we're connected. Now I like to use a little zip tie, and you see that is actually keeping the dishwasher drain water from actually coming back up and going into the dishwasher. So always keep it high and above, so garbage will come here, but it cannot climb because of gravity. So keep that in mind. All right, make sure you're nice and secured, and water's already on. You should already have your water on before you put your unit in, so you can check for leaks. All right, now we're going to turn the unit on, do a quick wash and a quick drain, and check for leaks again. All right, so no leaks. Legs are level. Unit is not shaking. All right, so now make sure nothing is in. You can take the wrapper off or have the customer do that. Well, you are the customer. Drain this first. Water's going in. All right, we'll check back in a second, then we kick panel and call it a day. All right, no leaks. Let's cancel. We're almost done. Don't forget these. These pop in here. All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. We're done. And your kick panel should be the last to go on. And last thing to do, verify that you don't have any leaks. Now your dishwasher is ready for service. Thanks for watching.